Yo people, it's your boy Guillyy here and welcome to episode 9 of Movie Monday. I'm not even going to say anymore, let's just get straight into this week's picks. This week I rolled a 212, 173, 131, 103 and 80. Starting at number 212, this movie surprised me, it definitely did surprise me. We have On the Waterfront. I haven't really watched Marlon Brando, any of his filmography, anything. The only thing I've watched is obviously Godfather, and I've always really wanted to sort of dive into his whole filmography and just see how he evolved as an actor. So when I rolled On the Waterfront, I was a very, very happy man. And this is one of those movies where you can really see how it helped develop cinema in the present day. It really did just age beautifully with time. Marlon Brando in this movie single-handedly carries the entire atmosphere and the emotion. It really is just captivating, and I think that's the main word that highlights Marlon Brando as an actor in general. All his sort of roles are just captivating, and I really do want to watch A Streetcar because I just have a feeling like that performance of all is just the overall best. I was so impressed with the level of cinematography in this, the sets and costumes, like the courthouse scene. The acting's great. It really is just a movie that has aged so well. I will say the first half of the movie did go by kind of slowly, so that was a bit, I'm not sure, it was a bit iffy, especially because the movie isn't actually very long. I think it's about an hour and 45 minutes long. But that whole second half of the movie, the closing out, the ending was so good. Great movie. Again, if that first half wasn't as slow as it was, I would have given it a perfect 5, but it goes at a 4.5 for me. Moving on to number 173, we have 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you'd know that normally I do just little one-liners when it comes to my reviews. I leave the more in-depth analysis on the YouTube channel and the videos. But for this one, I just had to spill the beans on Letterboxd because I was heavily disappointed. And if you have seen the review on Letterboxd, then you pretty much hear everything I'm about to say to you right now. There are so many actors and actresses in this movie that are just so underutilized. And for example, Kerry Condon, she was amazing in this. She had pretty much no screen time at all. Woody Harrelson's character was arguably the best one, and he got killed off however far into the movie. Peter Dinklage is an amazing actor, and I'm a very huge enjoyer of Game of Thrones, and he was just so fantastic in it. So when I knew that Peter Dinklage was in this, I was just, I was over the moon. But what did they do to his character and his plot and his storyline? Like, it is so bad. He's so underutilized, and the movie just doesn't hold any substance. It really is just a meaningless story. There is no substance to it. There's, okay, cool, like, I can see the message they're going for. The ending pretty much just takes out the whole message, and yeah, cool, that's probably the purpose of the ending, to show that, oh, everything she done was worthless, and, she's becoming as bad as the people that done stuff to her daughter, but it's just terrible. Like, the movie is not good. I just feel like it's one of those Oscar bait performances, and I really don't like it because everything is just done to an average level. And the thing that would have propelled it to a high sort of review or rating would have been the correct utilization of people like Kerry Condon, Peter Dinklage and Woody Harrelson, but the best 3 people in the movie you didn't even use. That's what infuriates me the most about this movie, so I have to give it a 2 stars. Moving on to number 131, we have Batman Begins. If you know me, you know I am a very avid enjoyer of Batman in general. Nolan's Batmans, they are all great. Matt Reeves' Batman, I think, is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely can't wait for that whole continuation of that story. But we have Batman Begins, and I think Batman Begins is the only Nolan Batman movie that could have been done better. I absolutely love the first half of the movie when Bruce Wayne is training with Ra's al Ghul out in, the snow. It is fantastic. I absolutely love, and that is one of my main highlights for the whole trilogy. The whole Batman trilogy is that first sort of sequence where he's training with Ra's al Ghul. And I absolutely, if they sort of kept that whole sort of vibe going into the end of the movie, I would have given it so much higher. But the end just didn't really captivate me that much. Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow probably is the highlight for me. I don't know, the ending was just kind of underwhelming. And having seen the trilogy a few times before, I obviously knew what was coming, and my my sort of vibe and my opinion going into it always kind of stays the same, and it's that starting bit is so good, but the ending is just so underwhelming. And I'm so glad that isn't the case for the next two movies. I'm still going to give Batman Begins a 4 out of 5 because it's still a fantastic movie, but I just think the ending could have been done better. Moving on to number 103, we have Heat. Now, Heat, this is actually my first time watching it. I was very, very excited to watch. And was I disappointed? No, I definitely was not. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, again, are just absolutely fantastic in this. Val Kilmer done an amazing job in this too. It's so good. There's so many little messages that you can sort of interpret from so many of the actions and the facial expressions, body language in this movie that are just they're so meaningful. Every shot has a meaning. That being said, I have no complaints about anything in this movie except for the ending. I do think, like Batman Begins, I think the ending could have been a slight bit better. Obviously not as bad as Batman Begins. Batman Begins is underwhelming, but Heat was much better than good all around. I just wanted a little bit more of a tiny bit better ending. That's all I wanted, was just a tiny bit better. Everything else was absolutely exceptional. And again, it's one of those movies where if the ending really was as exceptional as the rest of the movie, I would have given it a 5 out of 5. But the acting is fantastic. The script, the writing is absolutely amazing. The costumes, masks, set, production everything is just top tier. It really is just a fantastic movie and an absolute classic. And yeah, I'm going to give Heat a 4.5 out of 5. Now on to the last movie of this week. Number 80, we have Oldboy. Another movie I have been absolutely dying to watch. And I watched it with my brother and it was great. It really was fantastic. The twist, I'm going to lie, I didn't see the twist coming. I didn't really predict either. Like, I had an inkling that might have happen. I had an inkling that might happen, but like the movie is so good at hiding that twist that even if you thought that was going to happen, you kind of lose it a bit. You're like, oh, okay, no, I don't think that's the case. But then it ends up being that anyway, and that was what makes the twist so good, when you kind of know what's going to happen. And then the movie misleads you, so you think, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not the twist. And then it is the twist, and it just surprises you. It is so good. The fighting scenes, the hallway shot of when he's fighting them is so good. Even stuff like the flashback scenes are absolutely amazing. The depth in the characters' emotions and actions, down to the stuff they're wearing and the sets they're in, like the penthouse, even the restaurant, the house, that hallway, everything is just so beautifully orchestrated that it leads to this almost masterpiece. And I think I would really love to call it a masterpiece, but I just don't know what it is. I think I am due a rewatch of Oldboy at some point, but it was honestly fantastic. It just blew my socks off. If you're a frequent viewer of my videos, you would have known that I watched No Other Choice, about a couple weeks ago. So I'm kind of fresh off of Park Chan-wook's filmography, and like it's just so good. I think he really is cementing himself into one of my favorite directors, because everything just looks so beautiful and so fantastic. Even in such a deep and dark vibe to a movie, he still makes the shots look so beautiful. The Dutch angle used in Oldboy is just so well placed, and it doesn't feel unusual or irregular at any point. And the cinematography just is fantastic. With Oldboy, again, I think it's just short of being a masterpiece, which is why I'm saying I think I do need to rewatch it at some point. But as for now, I'm going to give Oldboy a 4.5 out of 5. And with that being said, those were the 5 movies of this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I hope I'll see you next week or for the Friday video. Peace.